So let's actually talk about the People's Party, or the Movement for the People's Party, and your platform. So essentially, what are you guys fighting for? What is the main goal of your party, especially as a third party?
So the platform is similar to the Bernie 2016 platform, but the thing is, the platform is really temporary. It's amendable. It's changeable. I'd rather discuss the strategy. So Movement for People's Party is an organization, but it's also even larger than that. I think it's a strategy. And the strategy is, first, it's rejecting. So you were talking earlier about the mayoral campaign. Rahm Emanuel is kind of a microcosm of the Democratic Party. At the city level, the state level, the federal level, they say this thing, they get in office, and then they're corrupt. Okay, so it's a statement first that the Democratic Party is corrupt and we need something else. And then it's a strategy that we have to build this coalition. We have to take the right strategy to, either force them to change as a party, fundamentally, completely, or we replace them with a coalition movement. So that's even more important than the platform. The platform can change. The platform will change when we bring these groups together, which is our strategy, to bring the groups, progressive groups, unions, student groups, left groups, and so on, to bring them together. And then we'll talk more about the platform. But in terms of the platform of what we have now, it's similar to the Bernie 2016 platform.
So free college, of course, single-payer health care, and workers' rights, and numerous other issues.
Basically the campaign that Bernie ran on, and it's been running by Alexandria and everything else.
More or less your kind of generic social democracy type platform. But we have gone, I think on our last call, we approved a vote specifically to oppose autonomous drone killing systems. So again, we try and go a little bit further, and we have some things that a lot of people, at least the Democrats and the Republicans, haven't really gone that extra step to take a position against autonomous killing systems.
I do want to ask, you said specifically this is much more a movement than a party. How big is the movement? How is it growing? And what is the plan? Is there a plan like next year we expect to do this, in 5 years we expect to do this?
So really it is sort of a 6-year-ish plan, I would say. A lot of what we're doing is trying to follow in the footsteps of what was the foundation of the Republican Party, which was growing out of the Whig Party and the Free Soil Party back in the 1800s. And it took them about 6 years to go from the conception of the Republican Party to a majority in Congress and the presidency. And very recently, we know the leftist candidate that just won in Mexico with the Morena movement. That movement started in 2012. 2 years later, it formed into an official political party, and now 4 years after that, in 2018, they hold the presidency, they hold I forget exactly what they call their legislative body, and they have members all up and down throughout local and state politics throughout the country. So that is what we are trying to follow in the footsteps of by getting organizations like DSA and the Green Party and Reclaim. We want them to basically come to the conclusion that there's enough people out here already that want this third-party movement, which is actually supported by a majority of Americans, I believe, to form a third party and within 4 to 6 years really take over various levels of government and put people in every level of government, local, state, and federal.
So the overall idea is really that you guys will be maybe less a party, more like the glue for other already established entities to work together with to bulk up enough to take over one of the parties or to replace.
Yeah, and actually in our last conference, what we talked about was starting an ambassadorship program, which is essentially people from the Movement for a People's Party reaching out to all these different organizations all over the country. The Greens, DSA, Reclaim, there's smaller organizations like Socialist Alternative, and there's like Revolutionary Communists, and getting them to come together and actually coalesce behind one unified movement that can be a third party. Well, I know Sammy likes to say a first party that actually represents the people.